What is going on, Laker fans? Welcome back with another post-game recap as your Lakers defeat LA Clippers yet again in preseason game number 2. This game was a blowout for the Lakers as they beat Clippers 131 to 106. Uh, as expected, LeBron and Anthony Davis set up for this game. There's a report saying the AD and LeBron might play one of the remaining Phoenix game. Next two games will be against Phoenix, and they might get some playing time to get their body ready for the regular season. My overall impression of this game: a better game, better ball movements, everything worked out better for the Lakers. I think we had 6 players in double figures. Well, I'm gonna talk about some of the players with a good performance tonight, but I'll go one by one. But I'd like to talk about how the game really worked out well for the Lakers. The better ball movement, better flow. They looked like they were getting in a rhythm. Uh, Lakers shot 56% from field compared to 35 in the first game. They shot lights out from three, which we're not very familiar with last season. Lakers was one of the worst three-point shooting team last season. This season looked like they're going to be a totally different team. Um, so let's start with the starting lineup tonight. They start with the THT and was KCP came back to the lineup, and it was Kyle Kuzma and Marcus Gasol. And Harold came off the bench, and Schroeder set up for this game. So we had a couple players who didn't play. Um, with Gasol being in that lineup, the ball movement was so much better. He was playing as a control tower, and then he was able to give a lot of ball inside, creating that open shot for his teammate, especially the cut-in play early with KCP and Kuzma. It was very effective. So Lakers started really hot. They shot over 60%. They were lights out in the first quarter. They almost scored close to 40 points. And then they slowed down a little bit in the second quarter with the Kawhi Leonard, Lou Williams getting a little hot, and Clippers kept things close. And so the each team, so Lakers was still leading in the first half, and the second half was all about THT show, and I will talk about that later. But I'm really impressed with Terran Horn-Tucker's performance. He outshined his performance in Game One. He finished with 33 points, 10 rebounds, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 steals, 11 for 17 from the field, 4 for 5 from 3-point field goal. What I impressed most about this guy that he's playing like a seasoned veteran. He's not forcing it too much. He's not playing like he's lost on the floor. He's always looks poised. He knows what his roles. He's very aggressive getting to the lane, and he got some couple like highlight plays. You saw how he fumbled and he recovered his body, and he was able to get that shot to go. And then he made that step back three. I think it's going to be a very deadly for his arsenal. I think Frank Vogels might have a little problem deciding which player to use more, Caruso or THT. I think with the THT's performance for so far for the last 2 games, it's definitely going to be in the lineup, at least getting 10 or 15 minutes. Well, they better have to use him. You cannot waste his talent. I don't think it's a fluke that he's playing like this. I remember the Stu Lance and Bill McDonald during the game saying that he 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 wasn't able to develop his body due to an injury in the beginning of season, And then when he was sent to the D League, he looked like he's getting better and better every game. Then when he came to the bubble, he looked like, oh yeah, he's ready to step up. I saw some flashness in the bubble playoff, and I knew this guy is going to be one of the big surprise for this league. He could definitely could be a candidate for most improved player this season. As far as I know, he has that long wingspan, and you saw how he snatched the ball from Kawhi Leonard. That was a highlight of the game. That's when I thought like this guy is going to be a next big thing. I don't think his the 2 games in a row performance is a fluke. Um, Lakers definitely have to use him more, and Frank Vogels definitely will put him in rotation. Schroeder, like Caruso, THT, those 3 guys are definitely going to be a point guard, the main point guard, the main ball handler for the Lakers. And the LeBron definitely will be a more dominant ball handler when they're not on the floor. And so with Kyle Kuzma, of course, he played well. I mean, he put up 25 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, and then he shot well from three, 4 for 7. He's just trying to. I think he's just trying to get in rhythm. First game, he was a little lackluster, forcing a little issue. This game, he looked more smoother. He knew his role better. He's a seasoned veteran, so he's in 4th year right now. It's definitely it's no surprise that Kalka's been putting up this number, but we want to see more consistency from this guy. We know that Kyle Kuzma can put up number. We have seen that before, but he needs to be consistent, of course. And then KCP is good to see him back. He put up decent numbers, 16, 5, and 3. Shot the ball well from 3. He's continuing that stellar performance from the bubble playoff. And he got that big contract, 3 years, 40 million. He's definitely look gonna be the guy who you can rely on any time on the floor. And then Mark Gasol was the guy I have to talk about it. Although his stats doesn't really show much tonight, 6 points and 4 rebounds and 5 assists, but his presence on the floor, it was more than just his stat. He's working as a control tower, like I mentioned earlier. It's getting his teammates involved, passing the ball, finding the teammates, cutting in, making easy shot for teammates. Right? So the game was much smoother when he was on the floor. There's no question about his value. I think we losing that height advantage. We lost the size, losing Dwight Howard, JaVale McGee, and the rebound capability. But now our spacing floor is much better. And then Montrezl Harrell, the last guy I'll talk about tonight. He put up a good number, 19, 11. He made that first 3 of the season. Well, which is just a playoff, so I don't think it counts as a real. But after missing that 17 consecutive 3, he was able to hit that first 3. He's just looking to be dominant every time he gets the ball, and there are a couple plays that he's unsure, committing like silly fouls, but that's because he just need to get adjust to the Lakers system and become more familiar with the teammates. That will come in time. So the next game, Lakers will play against the Phoenix Suns in Game 3 of the preseason. And what is your prediction for the next game? And I know the Lakers will probably play LeBron or AD for one of those games, and they will look a lot more smoother. I don't think they will shoot as good as this tonight. It was one unusual game for the Lakers. Unusual for any team shooting over 70% and then shooting close to 60% of the field. It doesn't happen every day, every night. But I do expect the same performance from players. Like Taron Hort Tuckers will be consistent again. he's gonna continue to prove that he belongs in the league. And the Kyle Kuzma, I need to see the more consistent from Kyle Kuzma. And they'll just have to need more time to get adjust to each other. So, and then we'll see at the more two man play game from Schroeder and Harrell as the like the later preseason game go on. All right, please leave a comment and then continue to subscribe to the channel if you like the content. And I'll be back with another post game recap of the Lakers. Thanks for watching.